And welcome back to another reaction video. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on making reaction videos, whether it's on videos or websites. So I figured I'd continue that journey of reaction videos and do Hunter's mobile detailing. I've seen a few of his videos. This one I saw like a quarter of it and I was like, okay, there's a lot of good tidbits that I can kind of give my advice on. So again, these are all just, trying to be educational and trying to give tips to things that you guys are doing out there. So let's get started with training 3 employees at once. 100 mobile detailing.
Anyways, we got really slumped.
As always, I'm gonna have it at 1.5 the speed just to get through it a little bit faster.
With work today, I had like seven cars, and it started off really rocky, you guys. The first client canceled, which was 2 cars. That hurt. I got the whole team, and the whole team got 8, so that hurt. I hit him like, hey, man, I got a whole team today. That hurts. He was like, I'm sorry, brother. Some emergency happened. So that's what happens in this business every now and then. I got to work on getting them deposits going because that's not.
Yeah, on that one, now, I get that all the time on DMs of like, how do I avoid cancellations or how do I kind of minimize that? So like before you go to just like a singular thing of like deposits, are you doing everything else in your process of confirming it with the customers to make sure that like that chance of them rescheduling or canceling is avoided, or at least well in advance that they're gonna want to reschedule. So for us with Jobber, if you see my other video, Jobber, we send a automated email reminder 3 days before the detail. And then a text message reminder gets sent out 2 days before the detail. So that way, if the detail is on Friday and it is Thursday and we check to see if the next day appointments have confirmed, then if they haven't confirmed via email or text message, then we have 1 more day to reach out personally via phone or via text or email and say, hey Johnny, are you still interested in the service, or are we still good to go out tomorrow at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., whenever? If you confirm a week ago, 4 days ago, and you don't confirm again, that's just like, you want redundancy in your systems to where like you are triple, quadruple confirming in a non-annoying way to your customer saying, hey, Friday, 9 a.m., we're gonna be there, right? Friday, 9 a.m., we're gonna be there, right? So for us, if we book in the customer on a Tuesday, we send them a notification saying, hey, you've been booked in for Friday at 9 a.m. And then another email reminder will be sent out on Wednesday, and then a text message reminder is sent out on Tuesday, and then a text message sent on Wednesday, and then Thursday we check if they confirmed to see if we have to confirm with them on for Friday. So there's a lot of redundancy, and even if that we have the automation, there's still like a manual touch point to it. So do all that in place, and because like for us, when we're booking like 3-5 customers a day, to get deposits on each one of those and to track that, and like it's just an extra step for the customer and for us to keep track of, and just like I'd rather avoid that altogether. So that's why we don't take deposits right now, just because we try to put many other steps in place that mitigates this from happening.
Not cool.
But at the end of the day, though, just to be clear, yes, like things come up in people's lives, right? Like you don't know what it is or what they're going through or what they had planned. Like some things, just whatever the case, some things come up at last minute. So to think like this should never happen to you in your business is also a bit, it's not realistic, right? At some point, someone's gonna cancel or reschedule last minute. Even with all those redundancy steps in place, it's gonna happen. It's a part of being in business.
Here is trial and error with the employees. The first 2 people that canceled kind of hurt me, but I'm taking it as a learning lesson on how to train multiple people and just like instruct them on what to do. So that's my goal right now. It's kind of hard because I want to jump in and help, but things kind of get wild if I don't instruct what everybody needs to do. So that's going to be my main focus. So it's going to help me grow in the future.
Yeah, on that one, just off a bat, like training 4 people at once, that's pretty difficult. Just because if there's 4 people, that's 4 people that are doing 4 different things, and you're dividing your attention to 4 different people. So what we've done and what we do is like, when we first hired our first employee, it's just like we just needed another body. Like there was no formal training. There was just like just go out there and start working, right? As we hired more people, we figured out a better system to get them trained. So for us, it's like you're gonna get much better results from your team member if you take a dedicated day, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever, however many hours, and you dedicate 6 hours of training on a particular service versus sending them out to the field and them learning on the job. It is a night and day difference, especially with 4 people, because the way you have to think about it is that you have 4 people that you're training. Realistically, if you just spend one solid training session with one person, that one person can show one other person what they need to do, and then you focus on the other person. But to try to train 4 people at once, very, very difficult. And we've seen a huge difference between training someone like on the job, like when we're just moving with cars, and when we take half a day or a full day to show them our full interior cleaning process and the wash and wax process, it is a night and day difference on how fast they pick up what we're doing, what we expect from them, and like the overall process that we're running. So I would say like 100%. Yes, it's like when you start training, it's like you have to have money in the account, right? That's essentially what it comes down to. Like, do you have money to spare just a training, right? Like there's no immediate ROI on just training someone, right? Because you're not billing it to like a customer. But over the long run, over the next 3 months, 6 months, it's like it pays off much more to just dedicate a training session to that team member. Now, when it comes to training, you should never stop training, right? Even now that Alex has been here for however long and Christian for however long, when there's time and when we need to train, we will train. It's gonna be, I want to go for at least once or twice a month. We dedicate half a day to training. Why? Because it's just important. They're not worried about detailing once they leave the shop. So anything that you want them to do, if you want them to improve their skills, their knowledge, their experience, whatever it is, in correction and coatings and in engines and interiors, whatever, it has to be done on the clock at the facility. So once or twice a month, I'd like to dedicate to 3-4 hours to just training on one particular subject.
That's what I'm gonna focus on today. And a car like this with 4 people, how long do you think it's gonna take? Man, it should take us an hour and 30 minutes. That should be the goal with all of us. For sure. But normally, with just me and my brother, it'll take us 3 to 4 hours, honestly. So we're gonna try to knock it out in an hour and 30. I know, that's the goal.
And the problem when it comes to when you have that many people, I haven't made it this far into the video, but if you have 4 people, but you don't have 4 people's worth of equipment, a lot of people are just gonna be waiting on something, right? So like if there's 4 people and each one has a drill brush, a pump spray, and an extractor, then it could be useful. But if there's only 1 vacuum, 1 extractor, 1 steamer, 2 sets of brushes, but there's 4 people and you don't have a big enough generator to run multiple machines, there's gonna be so much stagnation throughout the process that it's just, people are just waiting around because it's happened to us. So it's like, that's why I say, like, if you're gonna grow a business, if you're gonna grow a team, you better be ready to spend money because you need more equipment, you need more tools, you need more everything once you get more people. It's not just saying, if you just hire 1 person with you, yeah, things can basically stay the same. 2 people, 3 people, well, everyone else needs their set of tools and products to get the job done. So like everything, both in the shop and in the van, we have basically double or triple of everything because depending on how many cars we have or what the services are, everyone's gonna be using the same thing. So we need an abundant amount of tools and products for everyone to be productive.
So we're trying to make sure everything's flowing and going. So what are some problems you're facing today? I need a generator, or I need a generator with more power, with more plugs. Because we're trying to run everything, pressure washer, drill, extractor. So I'm finding...
Yeah, so that's one thing. I see that you're running a corded drill. So one, to alleviate some of that power from the generator is go corded. Yeah, cordless, I'm sorry, go cordless. So all our drills here, we have six of them. They're all cordless. We have 2 polishers because some of that is to alleviate some cables. That way it's just faster like that, especially for interiors. Just go straight to cordless. It's expensive, especially the batteries. Like if we have 6 drills, you don't need 6 batteries, you need like 12 batteries. That way if everyone's using them, there's always some spare ones to keep the show running. So it's expensive, but it's like with this one, yeah, it would help if everyone had cordless, which I saw a cordless one, so maybe you do have a few of them and that's like a spare one. But yeah, it's one of those things where like if you want to kind of keep the production moving, cordless is the way to go for drills.
I find myself waiting for them to finish the tires and rims. You know what I mean? So it's slowing it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed the generator part too. So yeah, so that's the thing that happened like when I was on my own with the Predator 2000. It's just not strong enough. I would use the McCulloch 1385 and the Aqua Provac, and I'd literally have to turn one machine off, turn the other one on, use that one, turn that one off, turn the other one on if I needed to use them at the same time. Not ideal, not productive, but man, like the generator which just wasn't strong enough. So that's why right now we have an 8750 watt generator because it powers our huge extractor, it still powers our vacuum, it still powers our air compressor. So nothing gets turned off when we're out in the field. It's way bigger, it was way more expensive, it takes way more space, but man, like when you're out there, we don't turn anything off. Everything keeps on running. So yeah, like more tools, more people, needs more things, needs more power. That's why I always say like it is just know this for a fact. When you get one solution, there's 5 other problems. One solution, 5 other problems. So if you think you solved something, already by default say, okay, I just solved this. Whether in 1 day or 3 weeks, 5 more other problems will come from this direct solution.
Everybody's doing something, so that's a plus.
Okay, so that could actually be a silent killer. Him saying everyone's doing something, so that's a plus. So there is a good book by, I forgot the author's name because I'm just gonna butcher it, but it's called The Goal. And basically, the premise of that book is like, just because something is being productive in this singular point of the system does not mean the entire system as a whole is being productive. And if you're forcing this one machine to be productive because it's supposed to be productive, that in itself could be the bottleneck, because you're forcing everything else around it towards that machine because this machine was supposed to be productive. I didn't read the book. It's a great book. So for instance, here, if you have 4 people and they're all doing something, that doesn't necessarily mean you're being productive and efficient with everything, right? Because it could just be busyness. It could be like, people waiting. So not that there's anything wrong with this. I'm just saying, like, don't let people moving around or movement happen. Don't let movement equal production or productivity, because it's not. Because again, we've been through it too. Like, just because everyone is moving doesn't mean the car is gonna get done any faster or you're making more money per hour. Like, you really have to look at the entire system as a whole and say, okay, is everyone really supposed to be moving right now? Like, why is everyone moving right now?
Paying everybody $17 an hour, so I'm getting hit right now. So that's what's really hitting me. But like I said, I gotta take a lesson learned and just learn and grow from this. I got another van, so I'm training people. I gotta get this rolling. So if I gotta, take a loss every now and then to get that rolling, I see the bigger picture. That's the goal.
Yeah. So on that one, if you are trying to build out a second van, you have to no ifs, and or buts. You will never change my mind. You have to invest in training. That means with each individual person. Like for us, we have different positions. We have an entry-level detailer and then a detailer, which I won't explain the positions exactly. And then we have a crew leader. So the crew leader is the one that drives the van, talks to the customers, and accepts payment. The entry-level detailer or the detailer is just there to clean the car, doesn't really interact with the customer, doesn't really drive the van, and things of that nature. So if you know the position that needs to be filled, then you have to take out the time to train that individual person so they keep the standard. And it's very hard to do that on the field. Trust me, I've in our business, we've done it. I see the night and day difference between training someone specifically for a task or job and doing it on the job. So that's you writing out a game plan of like, okay, when I'm out there going out in the field with my van, what am I doing? How do I talk to the customer? What do they ask? What do I do? How do I accept payment? And you go over all that with your crew leader or whatever position you deem necessary. And that's how I'd go about the training.
They're wrapping up the drawing. I'm making sure I'm putting everything up so that when we're done, we're done. Everything's put up. So here's the final aftermath. So this is not only good training for them, this is good training for me, man. Yeah, for real. Just learning how to instruct learning how to instruct my employees on where to go, pretty much what I'm directing them. Yeah, directing them where to go.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say, especially with 4 people at one time, it's like, does everyone know the actual system that you're running, right? Like from point A to point Z, does everyone know the exact steps? Like here, when we hire someone, we take them, again, we have a dedicated training session with them. And we are very clear on what we expect from them in order for them to be successful here, right? So, like, we don't need any heroes. We don't need any, Hail Marys thrown. We just need you to play the part that we need as far as, like, the job that you were hired for, right? We're not going to ask you to do anything crazy or go overboard. It's like, here's the position we need filled. Here's exactly what that looks like. Here's what success looks like to you as far as, like, what you need to do to make sure that you're, hitting your targets. And 2 of those things is how we grade the employee. So it's going to be on task efficiency and system efficiency. Basically, task efficiency, how we judge it, that way we have like a somewhat objective view of how that person is doing, is task efficiency is, are you completing the individual tasks of the process well? Meaning if the system efficiency, or what I just say, if the system is first we do the vacuuming and then pre-spray and then agitate and extract, that's the system. But the task is, okay, when we are vacuuming, are you doing everything correctly on the vacuuming? So we have task and then we have system. Those are 2 different things that we grade the team members on. That way we know when we're discussing or talking to them, we're like, yeah, he's good on remembering the steps, but man, he keeps on forgetting so it's like you have to, it's still subjective, but you have to have some type of guidance on, like, is this person doing well or not? And what are they liking? That way we can give them the appropriate training to get them up to par. Because the only way you maintain quality, morale, work culture, the only way you're able to sustain that as you hire more people is the amount of training and knowledge that you pass down to them. That is the only way you do it. You cannot expect anyone that you hire, literally anyone, to be anywhere as good as you or to do the job that you want them to do to the level that you want if you're not giving them the proper amount of training and education. So if you want someone to be just as good as you, work just as hard as you, or not, not exactly like you, but to the standard that you want to uphold, that requires training and frequent training at that.
Challenging you found today? Challenging. Having to make sure everybody's doing something, stay on top of everybody while trying to work. Like, hey.
Yeah, see, so that's a killer. I'd be very, very careful about that statement and saying, what was the challenge? Finding something for everyone to do. That's like, you really have to understand like what is it that you do? Like who's assigned to what? So for us, like if we're running and we know the difference between running a 2-man crew and a 3-man crew. Like we know who's gonna do what. So for us, let's say we're running a 2-man crew on this exact same setup, okay? Let's just say for the interior. For the interior 2-man crew is very simple. Vacuum, pre-spray everything, agitate, one person extracts, the next person gets on all the plastics. Boom, right? If it's a 3-man crew for the interior, it's the exact same process, except the 2-man crew does all the fabric and the shampooing, and then the 3rd man goes immediately to the plastics. Just like that. Like everyone knows that system. If there's a 3-man crew, we run that. If it's 2-man, we run that. Like we know, like to the point, that's how it's gonna be for the most part every single time. Some interiors will throw you a curveball and you gotta change it up a little bit, but your standard interior cleaning when we go out there, that's what we're gonna do.
Hey, do this. So just, working on the outside and the inside at the same time.
And again, to be fair, it comes with time. But like the thing to like, because I did it for so long on my own, and then I brought one person on with me to help me, it's like I already had a thorough understanding for myself. So then when I brought one other person on with me, it's like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Now there's 2 people, so if I do this, you do this, and then it's like a slow progression of, okay, I'm really starting to understand what you're supposed to do and what I'm supposed to do, and if I'm not doing that, so it's like it's gonna take a lot of time, but like it's much harder to figure out how to do that when you have so many moving parts as far as 4 people versus just like one other person. So I would really, really say like understand to the T what is supposed to be accomplished in what steps, and then who needs to do what.
3 new employees today. How'd you guys feel about today's training? It was good. It was good? It was real good. Just gotta be speed. Once we learn everything falls into place after that. Just speed, Speed.
Yeah, so for us, we actually like when we hire someone on, we tell them, look, I'm not worried about speed right now. I'm not worried about you moving quick. That's gonna come with time. That's gonna come with experience. What I want you to do right now is just get comfortable with what we're doing, do the proper steps. And again, because we talk to the team member of like, okay, task versus system, right? We want you to get both of those things right. So I don't expect you to move like me. I don't expect you to be as confident as me. I don't expect you to know where everything's at in the van or the shop. I don't expect any of that. What I want you to do is, per the training, follow those steps. If it takes you a little longer, that's fine. Over time, you're gonna get better. You're gonna get faster. It's gonna come, over time. So right now, don't try to be a hero. We don't need that. Go at your pace. Go at what you feel comfortable based on the training that we had. If you have any questions, if you have any problems with anything, let me know immediately so I can help you out, because I want to give each and every single person that works with us all the resources that they need to say, okay, I'm confident here. I'm confident in if I don't know something, I can confidently ask them for help and they're going to help me out, because like we need to put everything in that person that hires favor to succeed. Right? If you're not giving them time, if you're like kind of like in the rush like that, and you're like, what's over there? It's like, it's just not putting all the chips in their favor. So that's why again we have a dedicated training session. Very, very, very important.
Just as long as we got everybody working on something, everybody doing something, consistent work. Good. What do you guys think that I could have did better? You think that anything that I could have did better? Like honestly. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, on that one, I would also shy away from asking that question, because like one, definitely not in front of a camera or anything, but it's like since they themselves, and again, like this is like I've gone through the exact same thing. And it's like if you ask them like what could I have done better, it's like they themselves don't know what to look for, right? So that's why it's like it's very important to you to say, okay, I understand the system thoroughly. I know exactly what to do, and not 100%, but it's like I have the most thorough understanding of what needs to happen, and this is what we need to do. So like you have to, and again, there's 3-4 people there. Like you have to individually each one tell them like what happened. So it's very difficult to do that with that many people. Basically, I'm saying like don't rely on them to give you feedback just because they don't know what feedback to give you, because they're learning on what you're doing too, So you got to know the system you got to run. you're gonna iterate it every single other vehicle. Like I did that for so long too. And until you find that sweet spot with 3 people, 2 people, whatever, it's gonna be a working ever evolving system until you kind of get that to that sweet spot.
Guys, for those people out there that want to start their business, I hope this motivates you. People that want to expand and grow. Hey, if you really want to make some real money, you got to have a team. There's a lot of guys out there that's like, man, I just do it on my own. All right, then, hey, you must be comfortable where you at. Me, I want to expand. I want to be a blessing. I want to be blessed to be a blessing. So I got to.
Yes, I absolutely love it. Yeah, like I've talked about it for so long. You have like, I would 100% advise, encourage you guys to hire a team, or at least one other person. But the problem when it comes to getting more people on your team is that if you're worried about quality, about culture, about work ethic, each individual person has to be held to the highest standard. And again, as then it comes, like I say it all the time here at the shop or in our business, like it comes down to training. It comes down to sitting down with the individual person and finding out what they want in life. And it's not, I know it sounds funny, like, oh, what they want in life. Yeah, it's like, they're not going to be with you forever, right? It would be kind of ignorant to believe that, oh, you're not going to be with me for the next 5 years. No, of course not, man. So it's like through your business, through your, them being there for whether it's 3 months or 3 years, how can you help them better themselves as a human being that sets them up for whatever future goals or plans that they have with their life? And that's what that's what helps keep the quality up, that the work ethic up, like being able, like taking time out of your day with each individual person saying, what do you want out of life? How can I help you? What can you get out of here? What, do you want to take on any extra responsibilities? How can I, help you be more successful or be more whatever. And not on the detailing side of things. It's like you as a person, what do you want to accomplish, and how can you working here, in what way can it support that? And then that in return, that type of relationship and kind of kind of helping each other out on that feeds the growth of the business, of the work ethic, of the culture. So great video. Again, it's whenever you hire anyone, it's a big learning process. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot more money. It takes a lot more time. It takes a lot more headaches. It takes a lot more this, a lot more that. It takes a lot more when you start hiring people, but it's just a lot. It's more headaches. That's it. Like you think that you hire one person. Oh, I'm set. I hired someone. No. For every solution, there's 5 other problems. Okay, you hire your first person. Payroll, taxes, clocking in, clocking out, timesheets, training, payroll, like how much you're gonna pay them. Like there's so many other things that come from just hiring. Again, one solution, 5 problems every single time with whatever you do. I'll wrap it up right here. I'm not sure. Actually, I am sure, because the first video I posted was kind of long and everyone said one. No, people said twice. I don't know if I'm gonna cut it up into 2 videos or make this one long video. Anyways, hopefully you learned something. Again, these are just to be educational and give you guys the advice, because I literally have gone through the exact same thing in our business. So I'll end it right here. You can check the video description box below for the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, or my podcast, the Detailing Business Class Podcast. It's on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon Music. And anything else. Oh, my second YouTube channel, Proper Care, will be down there below as well. And that's about it. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.